The excitement overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah. No fancy graphics, no fancy editing. I can see there, no viewers. I'm like, yes,
I
we
don't
made it.
think YouTube hasn't caught up yet. That's why there's nothing showing at the
No
moment.
comments already. No, Paul's too busy with his cranes, and Tyrone too busy with insurance claims and the Carolinas and that part of the world. But what's going on, YouTube world? Steve, Vincenzo, Dave, IRP number 2. Yeah, it's wacky. Over 4 years. And tonight there'll be possibly like a cavalcade of people coming in, coming out, sort of like a.
That's what she said.
Well, this isn't some back alley dime store horror. I mean, this is the IRP. So
I thought they were one. I thought they were one and the same.
well, let's be serious here. I mean, I'm not tapping Vinny on the shoulder saying, "Tag, you're it," and we're getting $4 gold and grading fees. So,
oh come on! Don't. Oh, I can't talk about Chicago. I'm sorry. What happens in Chicago stays in Chicago.
So we will have folks on tonight, just sort of a hodgepodge of whatever the usual. The topic I thought of and went over with you guys, I know in the group chat, like I think it was just us three, like our headspace for the hobby. I want to save that for like a standalone episode by itself because I was like, I really don't. Because again, 200, I mean, a celebratory type thing or whatever. So
let's try and keep this one a little bit more positive because we've talked about it in the past, but at the same time, this is a huge milestone. Yes, like we've taken breaks, we've missed episodes because of vacations, stuff along those lines. But for the most part, we've been fairly consistent for over 4 years.
yeah, 4 years, yeah.
Huge accomplishment. Vinny's been here for almost the entire time on video, on live. So it's like this is a big deal. Honestly, when we started doing this, Dave, I didn't think I never thought we'd get this point. Honestly, so it's a testament to all of us. It's a testament to everybody who comes in, hangs out, offers comments, asks questions, the support from other individuals that watch us in the replay. We're still here because of all of you. That's the reason why we're here. This is the reason why we still do it. We still enjoy it 95% of the time.
Give or take 90%.
That's a little bit of a stretch, Dave.
So is my waistline.
Don't make it seem like this is a job and a chore because it's not. We don't prep for these. It's unscripted. It's unfiltered. It's one of those in which we kind of go with the flow. We go off of what you guys bring up, what you ask. It's been a fun ride. And after 4 years, I'll at least set the stage a little bit. We have somebody who's making his debut after almost 4 years. Took him almost 4 years. But we understand. Like family man, kids, sports, like we get it. That's not a jab. That's not a jab.
Nerves looking at like our collective bodies of work and being like, do I really want to dip my toes into this pool? Do I really trust this triad of individuals
The answer
who
is yes.
there's a
The answer
foul
is
mouth
yes.
beer
Nah,
drinking motherfucker to my left or right, whatever way you want to look at it. Vincenzo, the studious, always doing research. You can always see the head down is always in a book, looking at numbers, computing equations.
hashtag scholarship.
Yeah, legitimately scholarship. And then there's just me that I carry the flag for a little bit, and then I get tired, and I just like crumple on the side of the road, and everybody else takes it. And I sort of somebody pokes me with the flag. They're like, "Hey, get up!" I'm, oh, what? And then I rejoin. So, without further ado,
Oh, geez, Dave. I was really hoping you were going to leave that alone.
I'm going through the normal setup.
I'm aware.
Next time I get some exclusive cards, I will make sure to post them for sale for you right away, because that is tradition. Speaking of tradition, I came across him, and I think Steve did too. The first YouTube Hall of Fame, the rumblings and whatnot, in like what 2017 to 2018. That
Sure.
that time frame, and I always say Robert and this guy are the two guys that I found that I'm like, okay, these are guys that are like, for me, core guys. Even though the one we're bringing on, we talk not as often as I'd like, but I know he's busy, family, work, all that stuff. So, collects vintage. So I mean, we've got our vintage quote on here, but he also
Damn it.
collects modern, and he likes some inserts. So I mean, it's literally running the full gamut, and it's
And
about
it's
tradition. It's about
and it's
tradition.
it's mostly football though.
Yes. So there again, going back to our core. Um, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know him, you'll get to know him tonight. Not a foul-mouthed, beer-swilling Texas redneck, Mr. Scott Nathan, known to you and me as Scotty Tradition. So you should have had like a cape on there, and
Yeah, I forgot the tape, but I really appreciate being on the show. I've been an admirer from afar for many, many years, and it's
I'm
great.
sorry.
yeah,
I know it's a problem. It's a problem.
It's a
Um,
curse, Scott. It's a curse. It's a curse.
it's a curse, but I if there's one thing I like, and I kind of fashion myself as, it's authenticity. And for whatever you think of the show, this show has authenticity, and that's where I like to spend my time and people I talk to. I don't really have time for much non-authentic people in my life, so it's just a great show to have on in the background. So that's why I appreciate you guys the most.
Well, we appreciate you.
yep.
Awesome to meet you in Chicago last year. Uh, I mean, spent quite a bit of time, chit chatting in the front lobby.
We
So
did.
had a chance to get to know each other a little bit better and uh, admire some of the nice pickups that you had. And in those situations, in those scenarios and situations, you actually get to really feel the excitement with people. It's
Mm-hmm.
one thing to see it on video. Video can show a lot, but it could also be fake. And I'm not calling out anybody. I'm not saying that is like uh, a tradition, pardon the pun, going on within the YouTube space, but it can be faked. It can be staged to experience the excitement and the looks on people's face and the interactions that you have in person when they pick up a big card, that's one of the main things that I took away from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, seeing some of the cards that you picked up and the like the shit-eating grin on your face, it was genuine. You knew it was, you know, you were super excited and happy for the pickup and everything else. And that, you know, that even filters on to the people that you're sharing it with, because other people feel it, then they appreciate it for you and are happy for you. And it makes the whole experience even better. So, like, you saying that we're genuine, we're authentic, you know, the same goes for you. And although I have a tendency to add many Scotty Tradition videos to the watch later list and don't always get around to watching them, I do my best to try and watch yours, especially because, like, you're a football guy mostly, and I need more football. So
Yeah. We're still in the minority of YouTube, I think. So, you know, you find a couple good football channels, you got to hold on to those.
yeah, and there's not many of us left. And, like, at least for me, you're lucky if you get 3 videos a year right now. But for a multitude of reasons, it's
especially
not,
vintage football. That's kind of, for me anyways, like there's very, very few of those channels around. So I can maybe think of like 1 or 2, and that's about it. That's why I think like Bart and I are pretty close. Bart's cards, just because you know, we collect very similarly. So he's somebody that, you know, I don't miss a video on typically, just because we collect so similar with football. I don't know where all the football collectors are. I don't know why they're not on YouTube or where they're at, like what platform they tend to use the most. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that, but I know they're out there. Collectors are out there, but they're not on YouTube for whatever reason.
well, and they could be. Maybe we just haven't stumbled across them. You know, because as, like, when you put things into perspective, there's a lot of card collectors on Instagram, more so than there is on YouTube. Because Instagram is easy. You take a picture, you post it, you put a caption, boom, you're done, right? It's pretty easy to turn on the camera, whether it be facing or not. It takes time, effort. You have to kind of think about what you're going to say to a certain degree. So it is a little bit more time consuming. But at the same time, I don't want to say YouTube's like a dying art form, but it almost seems like it's a dying art form, at least in the card space. You know, for the baseball guys, every time you turn around, there's somebody, you know, promoting some new channels and everything else, especially on the vintage side, which, like, it's great. Like, I don't want the community, quote unquote, to disappear. I want it to continue, because it gives us something to watch from time to time. Because, like, TV sucks right about now. But I don't know. Maybe they haven't dipped their toes into the space, or maybe we haven't stumbled across them yet, or what. I don't know.
No, a lot of the old guys too. They just got out of YouTube. I mean, we've had Dictator on here, Michael, this film not yet rated. He's been on, but you don't see, like, and again, collecting focuses change. Where he used to be Clay heavy, now it's Rogers, Favre, maybe a Woodson again, or like that, like a John Kuhn, somebody that's like a Packer legend, but not necessarily a NFL legend. So, and he's not one to just sit there and, like, I want to get every John Kuhn or every whoever, like a Donald Driver, or like maybe a Sterling Sharp he really likes. He wants to get the card he knows that's out there, because that's the card that appeals to him the most, and that he's good with one. I don't know how that works. I'm not sure what what he eats, what he drinks, what methodology he reads up on, because I don't know where having one is enough. I think Vinny, at times, rare stretches, that he's in the same boat. I mean, it's got to be a big boat for me to be in to begin with, but yeah. See, I mean, getting one copy of a card, I mean, that it's tough. So
He must love those cards.
yes, those are the ones he really loves. So, and I get where his stuff now too is. Again, you can't be sitting there and buying like 6 Favres a month. I mean, unless you hit the Powerball. I mean, it's your 5 Aaron Rodgers game used patches or whatever the case may be. It's so I get you're coming up 2, 3 economic notches. So again, you're not going to have videos every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. Once a month at least. I mean, you're going to get 4 to 6 maybe a year. So that's the case like back in our day when we started like mid 2010, early 2010. You gravitated to people because again they'd sit there on video, they talk, and you'd be like, okay, at least this guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. If not, like, well, he screwed up there. He's okay, but he still knows the general gist. And at that time, that was tough to find people around. You had card shops going under. Pretty much the only places you were going are a Kmart, a Walmart, a Target. Maybe if you saw like an estate sale or rummage sale, like, oh, cards or sports collectibles, okay, I'll check that out. But it wasn't like it is now, where everything's like on the back, on the upswing, seemingly, of like the late '80s, early '90s, with the popularity, but now more so with like the brick and mortars and then the digital platforms or whatever, with like social media and breakers at every turn. If I've got to watch another Brothers fucking break where they get a Victor Wembanyama Black Prism or Scoot, and I mean, you're hitting every best card. It's like that. At some point, even if it's not planned, you start getting away from regular Joes and schlubs actually trying to pull those cards. But again, the prices of the product go up so much, and it's just all cyclical. Where I can't afford I'm not going to spend whatever a pack of Prism basketball is. I don't know what they even go for a pack. Yeah. I gotta guess it's probably 100. Like, I'm not spending $100 on a pack of cards to even get like a Wemby numbered card. I'd rather buy again a patch auto of a Hall of Famer from Certified or NT, or Leaf Limited, or SPX, or SP Games, or anything other than the relics of today. It's just, but you can't have a master class. You can't have like a master class trying to gather the ill-informed and the uninformed to be like, you guys pushing all your chips on the table towards this stuff is killing it for anyone else in the low end, and it's just going to get worse when there's a lot of stuff that you could be going after. Again, yes, still some stuff that we need to get, and still stuff that's probably cheaper than it should be. But it's like you're just, the hobby is fraying at the ends because of all this nonsense. So,
well, and heaven forbid you try and like educate somebody or correct somebody.
I've not done that since that one time on Instagram. Somebody started messaging me like, "What the hell do you know? What does it matter to you?" or whatever. I'm like, I want you to be correct in what you're putting out there. That's all I want, is give people the truth. But
and yeah, Dave, like, and I'm gonna be honest, like, Dave wasn't a dick about it,
which is rare.
I mean, like, he could have gone like full on dick mode, and like be the Dave that we all love and appreciate. But he did it more from an informative, educational perspective, and literally got shot down. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Type situation. And it's like, okay, fine. You want to look like a dumbass and pass on incorrect, fake information? Fine. But don't like don't be pissed off when people basically stop following you and commenting and liking your post because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the football guys. I think they all do. I think it was more Facebook, and then I know like a bunch of old guys have a group on there, and then like Collector Cat, Tyler Sports Guy, my son's friend Jack. They do a lot of football, or mostly football. Jack does a bunch of stuff, but they post most of that stuff on Instagram, like the Merino Collector.
Yep.
I know there's more. Those are the guys that just pop in my mind, but I know there's more you see.
Reggie Bush,
Instagram.
They
Whoever
got
Vinny
that
said.
stuff.
Yeah, he hadn't posted it in a while though either. Since
He does a lot to
mentioned him.
story lately.
But again, it's easier. Instagram is easy. Facebook is even easy.
Right.
And you know, it's a lost art, especially on the football side, because there's Joey, there's you, Scott, there's me, there's Dave, there's Michael, Mark, Bear Cards 34, just the Bears, Bears 9 McMahon when he decides to post something.
Yep.
Brad.
Bart.
Yeah, Dave said Bart.
Oh, you did. Okay.
But outside of,
there's a few more, but I mean, you don't have like the longevity guys, or even people that were the last 6-8 years, like that came in about the time you came in, Scott, like 2017ish. Like even in that range, you don't see a lot of people. It's all baseball. All baseball.
Yeah. Like there's a couple guys that'll collect both, like Orlando, A Collector's Dream, actually has a really great vintage football collection, but you know, I'd say he's still primarily baseball though. He just has a great collection overall of all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
But yeah.
And I watch his football stuff.
You too.
When he posts it.
Right. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot though, for whatever reason. Like I'm in a vintage football forum. It's like a special forum online and there's all kinds of older guys that are in that, and they have some amazing stuff, but none of those guys are near YouTube.
No. It's just something too, like Steve said, and we've all mentioned previously, it's so easy to post a picture, type something up, throw about 5 hashtags or whatever in there, and you're done. You don't have to, again, if you're really picky about your setup, you're picky about like what you see on the camera, make a video, how do you sound, is there an interruption from a child, a dog, a knock at the door, your phone ring, whatever the case may be, we don't care. I never care. I mean, you can watch a lot of videos that are horrendous.
Yeah.
But a lot of people want to have this like perception of like perfection. And that's not YouTube. You could go back to the early days of YouTube. It's grainy. It's distorted. It's echoey if you're in a certain room, or some like maybe the singing or like the goofiness. They do it more for the perception of perfection, and then to be recognized, you want to have that and all the big microphone, fucking lighting. I'm like, you're not Larry King. Just fade a fade and just go on the fucking show, whatever you're doing, just go on the camera talk about the card. Let the passion in your voice bring in the people, the knowledge. Yeah, that's absurd. I would not ever pay that. That's nonsense.
Yeah, I think wax is pretty much dead for me right now. It's just so much, and you get so little at this point, and it's been this way for the last couple of years. It's just marketing, and I just really have no interest at all in it, to be honest.
Well, and
No.
that's why, like, I stick to retail. Not that I open a lot of it. It's more from a stash perspective, because yes, your ROI on hobby could be much more substantial potentially. But I don't know about anybody else. Like, for instance, like I don't have a spare $1,350 to, throw out and sit on it for a few years and hope that I can, at least 2x, 3x, 5x my, like, $100, it's more reasonable. But even then, I mean, that can be a stretch.
Yeah.
Wembanyama is a generational talent. It's going to drive it. It's driven a ton of product being open now as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Which means as time progresses, there's going to be less product that remains unopened. So if I'm able to pick up a few blaster boxes or fat packs, hanger packs, whatever, for a standard retail price, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because 5 years from now, if he maintains the same kind of trajectory, it's going to be a sound investment. Not that I'm trying to give investment advice, because that's not what we do. But at the same time, when you have players that generational talent, they're actually showing something.
Mm-hmm.
Adar didn't do horrible in his first season.
Averaged a point a game before he got hurt. It's not bad.
But again, like, he's not, Sidney Crosby, but Crosby, like, didn't have, I'm speaking out the both sides of my mouth. I don't remember him like having a huge, phenomenal, like crazy ass stat ridden season as a rookie.
He had 100 points. They were right about there, 199 for him and Ovi.
So, and you look at like CJ Stroud, for instance. CJ Stroud pretty much drove 23 product for good reason. He hasn't been as good as what he was last year to start the season, if I'm not mistaken. But sometimes that happens. But again, people push a product, they open a shit ton. At some point, somebody's going to be like, oh, I think of like Bobby Afkop, talk about blast from the past. He didn't like to buy cards and autographs. He would have rather pulled them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think of somebody like that, years down the road, oh yeah, CJ Stroud, future Hall of Famer. I want to go back and I want to see if I can go pull one of his just regular rookie cards. What's out there? Not saying that I'm going to sit on it for 20 years before cashing out, but it's that mindset. And I haven't bought hobby, and I couldn't even tell you. Like 2011 is the last year that really kind of sticks out in my mind from the last time I bought hobby.
But to me, it's more like, I think it's more just like a numbers game, though. Like, CJ Stroud could be great, Wemby could be great, but how much more product is out there, period, compared to, like, here, I picked up a card just recently, actually, and it's, let me grab it quick. So it's a 2013 Giannis Silver Prism. And the numbers for a PSA 9 are like only in like a couple hundred. So but then you go to Luca, for instance, his Silver Prism's like 5,000. Like the difference in the numbers are so crazy, and they're both good, but I mean, just from a sheer number standpoint, it just doesn't make sense to me to buy the product. I can't.
No,
Well, and
No,
that's the other
mhm.
thing. Grading has truly changed the dynamic of so many aspects of the hobby. Both good and bad. Like I'm indifferent when it comes to grading. I really am. It adds value, but there are some detriments. These are all, those are my opinions. But grading isn't killing the hobby. Is it hurting it a little bit because of the oversaturation and the people being overly focused on looking at stuff and okay, I'm buying a raw card. Is this going to be a 9 or a 10 to like put things into perspective? Changes a lot of people's thought process, but I don't think it's not killing the hobby.
no, it's right. What, a couple years ago, the grading and everybody grading everything. I think stuff is sort of normalized again from that, and again, when you have how many PSA 10 Soto Tops updates, that's more than the population of probably like Chicago. It's okay now. Now you're saying that's not $150, $200 card. Well, no, not even. Probably if you make the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's maybe a female, and that's about it.
Right.
But yeah, that's if you put the Luka and the Giannis next to each other at a card show, I'm sure more would go after the Luka. But even if you're like, hey, this is like, look at the pop report. Well, I still want the Luka. Well, that's just ignorance. That's what you'd have.
The difference is crazy. And then you get to Ja and Zion in those years. Like it's amplified to like, I don't know. It's a whole world of its own.
Yeah. When you have whatever that was for like even just like a regular Zion, where that thing was
Right.
well, I think well into like the six figures of PSA 10s. It's like, so how much does that card go? I mean, the artificial scarcity is the worst part. There, where oh, it's a PSA 10, it's a PSA 10. Well, that's great, but if you do any digging or a BGS 9.5 or whatever it is, it's like it's not. This is a 10. It's not a Bo Derek 10. This is like I don't even know. It's a 10. It's great.
Yeah, and it's one of 500,000. Like, what's your point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I forget what the pop report is, but it's like there's like 30,000 or something or more. Like Zion PSA 10s and Ja, they're both the same, I think, whatever the number is. And not to mention how many are unopened yet.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know.
still people still holding that stuff and hoping and
Our research department is taking a break.
What I miss?
Do a quick peek on Zion and Ja Morant Prism Silver PSA 10s. What's the pop count?
Even the regular.
Even the regular, yeah.
Yeah, go regular. The only reason why I said silvers is because that's what you ended up sharing because of the Giannis. But
yeah, I think the Giannis is around like 300 maybe or 400, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but and putting things into perspective, though, the print run for that year of Prism was also less compared to the later years.
100%. Yep.
And that's what a lot of people fail to like take into consideration. They don't even, put that in the equation when they think about certain things.
Right.
Print runs do make a difference. So, as our research department does some quick perusing, always typing, always typing.
Okay. Zion Williamson, Prism 2019, PSA 10, population 1,812. Red, white, and blue, population 1,056 for PSA 10. Regular Prism, PSA 10, 775. then you look at BGS.
I think it's
BGS
more than
10,
that.
681. Regular Prism, PSA 9, 2,855.
That seems low.
Yeah, I think it's what is the rookie year again for Zion?
2019. Well, let's be honest. I'm using Card Ladder for quick reference,
Okay.
so these numbers might not be accurate. I should go to the
Yeah, go to go to PSA. Yes, Vinny is counting all the money that we've made for the last 4 years on this show.
Yeah.
I'm done. Pop reports.
We've gained friends and viewers, and that's you can't put a price tag on that.
We haven't run too many people off.
And by the way, I hate the way PSA's website is when you try and
Yeah, because the first thing that came up was Ted Williams.
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah.
Population total for 2019 Panini Prism. I think he's card 248. It said. I'm gonna just look at card 248. Why can't I do this?
Again, I hate PSA's website when it comes to looking at
There's like
pop
there's
counts.
a million
And Matt
variations.
Turner, if you're watching, fix your shit.
Next
You
week we'll
said
have
the
Matt Turner on.
He said the other day he can't see the ROI on buying a box of Modern. Oh boy.
That's an accurate statement because like you get very little for a high amount of money.
Zion
Like your
Williamson,
percentages are terrible.
total pop of the regular card number 248, not the silver. What do we got? Take a guess. Over or under 50,000?
Are we talking PSA 10s or are we talking total population
Total
count?
population.
Over 50,000.
Yeah, it's got to be close to that number, I think.
Way over.
Nope.
Way.
No. Total
I
pop
guess
is
just I guess just over, like 50.
42,378.
Gotcha.
But 23,010, 17,009s. There's a one out there. That's the one Pepino would take. Let's see where is the green prism? No. Hyper prism, regular prism. Or they call that silver, and I got to look in alphabetical order. Silver prism. Over or under 4,000?
Over. Just over.
Steven?
I abstain.
5,162. Most of them are nines, 2,855 versus 1,813 tens.
The total pop is over 5,000 for the Zion Silver Prism.
So, yeah, it's.
For all three.
Let me me see what the total pop is.
Which is crazy when you put things into perspective. But that there's your indication though, the increased print run compared to 2019 to Giannis's rookie year though.
Yeah.
too.
So so then look up like the 2013 Prism Giannis, which is card number 290. Just out of curiosity.
Because I remember when you showed that because you got the 9 recently.
I just got it in early August actually.
That's what I was thinking because I think that's one of the few videos I ended up watching. I couldn't remember when it was, but I knew it was recent.
Yeah, I think of that and the Contenders Love autograph at the same time, roughly.
Okay.
Kind of I don't usually add a lot of modern, or semi-modern, but I just decided to grab those two finally.
Well, if the price point is right,
Okay.
why not?
Giannis is regular Prism. What do we think?
So
Total pop.
because Prism, like a regular base Prism,
Base Prism. What are we thinking?
maybe like 2,000, I'm guessing, somewhere
I
around
was
there.
thinking 1800.
Yeah, maybe that's a little light for total pop. Like 5,000, maybe.
Steven.
2,200.
50,000 or 5,059. So 3,087 10s, 1,549s. So most of that population is 10s.
And the
That's
Zion
interesting.
was like 42,000, right?
Yeah.
For regular.
Yeah.
So 42,000 versus 5,000 for the base rookie.
So let's see.
And a lot less number of cards to grade too. So that again, that puts things into perspective.
His black mosaic is in a PSA 10.
Right.
We're talking Prism. We don't care mosaic.
Black mosaic Prism.
Oh,
For black. Sound like a
Learn your
black
nomenclature.
it's modern. I don't give a shit.
So I would take this as his silver, but they're calling it Prism.
Yeah, Prism.
Should be. How many do you think on that?
407.
Yeah. Total pop, I'm guessing like 450, something like that.
Steven?
750.
198.
Wow.
Oh, less than I even thought.
So think about that. When that dude goes to the Hall of Fame, which he will,
Yeah.
and you have one of them suckers, if people learn how to do math in America,
That's a big ask.
Yeah. Especially for your
People born, like, think about this. People who were born in 2023 will live to see the year 3000.
oh Lord.
Oh, that was put out on social media, folks.
Yeah,
I saw that somewhere. I remember seeing that.
I remember that. But now let's do an example for us. So Mario Lemieux Topps rookie.
No, that would be an example for you, not for us.
Well, hey, I'm the research department. The examples come from me. So that's what you get.
Yeah, well, how do you like them marbles? Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Please proceed.
So we're doing Lemieux versus what?
Anything. Just Lemieux's rookie. What do you think the population
Okay.
of his 1985 rookie, number 9, in the set?
30,000.
This is across all grades.
Across all grades.
I guess something like 5,000.
I'm gonna say like 10 to 11,000.
Red Hat.
I said 30 just because it's sounded good.
Not even close. 6,330. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Probably because all most of the cards weren't taken care of, so they all look like shit. So they weren't good enough for grading.
There's only 79 tens.
Most cards are in this guy's collection. That's why. That's all he's got.
Well, not rookies.
Well,
I got a fair few of them.
I know you have a few.
Pops only got one OPG, but
he really
that's
he really
put off
likes.
in a later project.
So since you did Lemieux, and no offense, Dave, we don't care about Josh Johnson.
I know. I wouldn't care either.
Do Terrell Davis 95 select certified.
Nine.
I'm pretty sure that 8s outweigh 9s and 10s.
Yeah. 7 probably are going to be close to the scratching.
And I think the same would apply to gold too.
Mm-hmm.
This is like base certified, Terrell Davis?
Yeah.
Good.
So what are we saying? Total pop,
For both or just the base?
the base.
750.
Well, I think you're probably, yeah, that'd be my guess, is in the hundreds, but I'm gonna go like maybe like 500.
I'll go 9.
900.
Yeah.
So 1995 select certified number 126 Terrell Davis. Total population 6,086.
Wow.
No shit.
490, 496 on tens, 4,622 nines, 893 eights, and then it goes down.
It doesn't go up?
No, your pop was closer for the mirror gold. Total pop 647. Most of them nines at 475 with 54 tens and 111 eights.
Well, and the rash of increase in those pop counts probably came after the 2,000-yard season. Because like 95 select certified boxes at that time were going anywhere between like $500 and $700 because everybody wanted the TD, and of course they wanted a mirror gold. Well, what was it? One or two per box on average.
Yeah, I think it was 1 in 12.
What's Josh Johnson's rookie year, Dave?
02 Bowman draft. He's got a Bowman draft and a Bowman Chrome draft.
Oh, was it 05 though? That was kind of like his
06 was like the major league.
06.
Bowman Chrome draft picks. Oh my, this should be. You're talking. See, you collect a low population count, man.
Well, and that's going to be the key here is there won't be a lot of PSA. There'll be a shit ton more of BGS because BGS at the time was king for grading for both everything basically, but especially baseball prospect.
So you got your regular base, your gold refractor, your refractor, and your X-fractor. Total pop, Dave, for just a base.
Just a base, I'd say 83.
Anybody else want to take a stab?
What's the card again?
Josh Johnson's rookie card.
The Bowman
205.
Which is from
02.
what year?
02 Bowman draft.
2002
2002.
Bowman draft.
240.
32.
Oh,
There's
Dave was
11,
closer.
11 tens out there. There's 5 of the gold refractor, 2 tens and 3 nines.
Dave probably has all 5.
Yeah, the refractor there's 9, and the X Fractor, there's 3.
And he probably has all those too.
Yeah.
Those were insanely tough to have a good centering copy or nicely centered, because I've got a bunch. I know shockingly, but the refractors were to 300, X's were to 150, golds to 50, and then you didn't have supers then. There's no reds, no oranges, none of that. It was just those 3, which it's nice. I would have loved to have a red at that time. That would have been a cool card, maybe a blue, but when it's like all the stuff of today, that's another thing. That's just manufacturing scarcity, collectability.
How dare you say those terms, Dave? Manufacturer scarcity. That is not a thing.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, with the modern so what do we learn then? Like we got 197 Giannis's versus like 5,200 silver
Zion.
Zion Williamsons. That's like what, 25x or something?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
that's
25,
absurd.
somewhere in there. It's like, that's insane.
That is absurd to think that that's going to be collectible like 20 years down the road. I don't know. To me, it's so much more. It's just absurd. The number.
Well, supply is higher than demand in that situation for the bulk
Right.
majority of it. And
Yeah,
as
true.
things continue, they're only going to manufacture more because they keep increasing parallel variations. Therefore, they have to print more product. The only way that would change is if they inserted things more frequently in products. Then they could keep the print runs the same. But they're not going to do that, because print more, you maximize your profits more.
And are they going to get away with it, though? Does it even matter? Because the gambling aspect of the hobby is so strong right now. Does it even matter?
No.
They're going to do it because breakers are going to keep breaking.
Right. Because of that thirst for the gambling aspect of the hobby, which is on the other side of breakers. So I don't know that it even matters for collectors.
You've got your degenerates that have bought in, and again, until money runs out or shit hits the fan in their lives, you're going to have them keep buying the stuff. And another thing that's sort of hand in hand with that is, okay, you get the Wemby class this year. Let's say next year Cooper Flagg does well at Duke, or this winter, and he's like, okay, I'm one and done, and he shows what he's shown in the last couple of years in like the AAU and travel ball. There's your surefire number 1. That's all you need in a product to move it. You just need the one, like the guy that people want.
And it's not about the collectability; it's about the money.
Yeah. It's and then you get, like, again, it's not like the Anthony Bennett year, so like the Cavs when they traded.
That was the Giannis year, wasn't it? 2013. Or was that a different year?
It was either that or the year after. But that was the thing. Like Giannis, okay, it was sort of like the Dirk Nowitzki, but not, again, the top of that draft, the 98 draft, again, was stacked with Jameson, Vince Carter, people of that ilk. But then you had Dirk, who was like Milwaukee had him and traded him for fucking Robert Traylor. So, I mean, you had an unknown quantity there. So it's not like Giannis are like, okay, this guy might be something down the road if they let him develop. You don't expect a lot right away. Let him just sort of ease in and get acclimated to the NBA life. Let him do it. Like a Steve McNair. Let him play that last game of his rookie year. Get him the NFL readiness, because you got Crystal Chandelier there, and then he'll take off, and that's what he did. So, because I remember finding some of that stuff at Pomida, like the blasters that were like dirt cheap, because again, it was that year. It just, people didn't care. But you didn't have that, like the big names. When you don't have a consensus number 1, that always leads to like some instability with the cards and like the speculative market. You just always have people sort of, you know what, I want to get it, but you know, I don't want to buy in too much because I don't know what this guy's really about. If you got somebody that averaged like 12 points or sort of like this year's where you had the dude from France or a couple guys from France, it's like I don't know how excitable people are going to be for the class. They're going to want to get Bronny James because that's the name. People know that name, and it's going to be probably tagged up with LeBron in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So they'll want to get that, but there's not a top tier guy that people are like salivating over. So we'll see when Prism 24-25 comes out in 2028. We'll see what it looks like then.
Well, WNBA pre-sale is more than NBA.
That's a you've got a stacked rookie class, so that's the thing. Even without Caitlin Clark in there, you've got a stacked rookie class.
Exactly.
So,
hey, if I stumble across it, don't think I'm not going to pick up my few on the Blaster side.
Yeah, if I see it in the wild, I'm going to be circa 2020 guy. Whatever I can afford, I'm going to pick up because that's just a. Again, Naomi will want that, or she knows a bunch of those gals playing, so I'd rather get it for her and let her just bust them open.
Yeah, I'm not opening shit.
I'll put one side and be like, "This is what we're gonna save," and Caitlin does well and continues to do well, and has like a Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird type career, and like you're getting a Candace Parker, Maya Moore, Simone Augustus, where you have all these titles, MVP, accolades. Then guess what? That's card would be worth a hell of a lot more in 20 years if it's unopened, and you have the chance to get it or one of the whatever the coffee pot number to 125 or whatever Prism parallel they come up with there. So yeah, I don't expect to see any of that stuff because it's just so hot. Because it's not just with the ladies, it's the dudes too. They know they can get it and then sell it to whoever, and they know that probably got to be at least a $20 bill for the base, if not 50 right out of the gate, where people are going to be just like, Indiana Fever, oh, I need to get it. It's like I'd rather get the Iowa stuff because that's where he made her name.
I think upon release, like your top tiers are going to be pushing close to $100 to start out of the gate.
Or they're just going to be ridiculous.
So you need to answer Mike's question.
I think I've got 3. I know there's times I've lost a couple. I think the one time I made a trade, I don't know if it was either a blowout or Sports Card Forum, where I had a Carlos Quentin Coleman Chrome Gold Draft refractor. I think I traded it straight up for a Josh Johnson one. The guy had it and won the Quentin, and Quentin was still relevant at that time in like 08. So I saved myself a lot of money. I know at the time that would have been a pricey expenditure for the limited budget that I was trying to throw out every Josh Johnson I could. Like Vinny, I love them all. I love that card. So 34 top chrome refractors later, 14 black refractors, or 7 of the reds. Like,
And a partridge in a pear tree.
yeah. Along that.
And then there's me. One is sufficient.
Yeah. But again,
Well, the joys of being a super collector and the varying intricacies of like what each person does as it relates to their specific super collection, though. So
So what else
Man.
have you got? Give us something else that's been going on with you. Maybe some people that don't follow your channel. What you picked up lately, what you're looking to like acquire along the lines. Because again, you're not just picking up like a Jordan Love prestige rookie and being giddy and excited. You're sort of like Michael, where it's you have stuff sort of in the crosshairs. It's a carnival,
collect-
and you've got the gun with the target, and you're like, if I can hit one of those, I'm good.
Yeah, I collect kind of similarly to Michael. I think if there was anybody, I'm a little more towards the vintage end of things, but I'll go a month or two without picking out anything, and then I'll pick something up that I've had my eye on. So here's the Love Contenders throwback rookie ticket that I picked up with that same month as the Giannis.
I love
So I thought that was a nice looking card, actually. So it's the 2000 throwback, so it's the same year as the Brady rookie kind of throwback.
And Dennis Northcutt.
And then I was able to grab a Musial rookie this year. My chances of spawn, sorry. Musial's coming. And that's one I've had my eye on for a while. So a little bit of vintage baseball. And then I got some vintage football at the Y.A. Tittle rookie that I picked up. And then, of course, one of my favorite pickups this year was the 48 Leaf Bednarik.
yeah, that's a stunner.
Big fan of the defensive player. So this is a very tough card to find centered, and I was able to find one a few months in.
Well, the color's ridiculous on that. That's like it just came out the printing press yesterday.
Yeah, it's a beautiful card. So you do not see them like this. They're like way off centered. Even like the ones that would grade higher. The 5s and 6s are way off centered. So this one, you just don't see them like this. That's why I paid a premium for it. But yeah, just a little bit of everything that I picked up recently. I haven't made a video on this yet, but I'm actually starting the NFL Top 100 in the PSA set registry, which is kind of a cool set. It's like the 100 best, greatest players basically in NFL history. I'm about 20% done with the set. It's on the cards I already have, so I thought I would just go for the set. Obviously, there's some bigger cards in there. We're talking about like the Nagurski 35 Chico, which is absurd to pick up. That'll be like down the road probably. The 65 Namath is in there. And the United rookie, like a lot of players like that. And then there's some more like easier ones to get, like the Ray Lewis rookie, even some modern stuff like the LaDainian Tomlinson rookie. So it's kind of a cool set. I'm kind of looking to expand a little bit, and that should be something that'll have my focus, because I'm just not finding anything for like my Packers set anymore. It's just the stuff that I have is like kind of, I can't go much higher in it without like mortgaging my house.
Oh, come on, Scott. Like, what's the big deal, man? Come on.
I've considered that. I've considered living out of the car, but ultimately I have a family, so it's just not feasible.
Priorities, man. Come on. Like, cards, family. Like, come on. Like, what's your problem?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to have built a lot of that set like before 2020 when things got really just absurd. And like, it's funny. I'll have my top 100 video coming out soon where I just kind of track everything from year to year just to kind of see where everything goes, which is kind of a fun exercise I do every year. I'll do that sometime here in October, but like, it's just crazy. Like some of the stuff that I have, like I'm trying to find pricing on it. I haven't, like, for instance, like the Henry Jordan rookie. He's a Hall of Fame player for the Packers, right? I have this rookie at 9. There's only like 6 of them. There's none graded higher, and one hasn't sold since 2017. So it's like I have no idea. what that is now. And I have so many cards like that that I just was fortunate to grab in that period of time, like 2015 to 2018, that have really gone higher since then.
Right.
So fortunately, but that makes some of the stuff I have, have gone up quite a bit in value. But like I can't add any more to it either. That's the other side of it because it's just gone so high.
Right. So do you have? I mean, I get it, and I'm just like posing the question. Like eye appeal, I have a feeling is going to be very high on your radar as you look to try and add things to your top 100. But is it strictly eye appeal, or are you going with grades between X and Y to try and set some sort of precedent for what you're trying to put together, or is it just eye appeal?
Yeah, when I started out, it was much more towards the grades, like the higher grades is all I look for, and that's a lot of it was due to the site registry, just being competitive, that kind of thing. But now, just because of the absurdity of some of the pricing, I'm like more okay with just decent eye appeal cards for the grade because I think they'll still have like I more think of things like down the road, like that's just how I think. So like 20, 30 years down the road, I'm not thinking of things like I'm going to flip this in 2 years. That's just not how my mind works. And I feel like a nice eye appeal card of like a legend is going to maintain its significance. And that's the kind of things I focus on.
Any kind of goal or expectation of, let's say, you have a 7, for instance. You want to increase your ranking, let's say, on the PSA set registry. If the price is right, would you look to upgrade from a 7 to an 8 and progressively try and get towards like 9s and 10s?
Actually, no. Like I'm actually a big believer in not doing that and just waiting and buying the card that you want and just kind of crossing it off the list. That's just how I am. Then I don't have to deal with the buying and selling of things. I feel like as long as you're patient and that's something that works for you, everybody's different, obviously. Some people want more of those things coming in just to kind of keep them going. But I'm just a patient person, and I'll wait, 3, 4, 5 months for that one card, and I'll check it off the list, and then I'll move on to something else. But I like that. That's why I built the whole all my vintage Packer stuff is just waiting for that one item and grabbing it when I can.
Patience, what a concept. Something that more people should probably learn. Just throwing it out there.
Yep, and I know a lot of people like to upgrade. That's fine, whatever works for you. But that's just not how I was able to build the set that I have.
Like to me, and I'm only speaking for myself.
I'm glad you are.
Like patch sets. If you're going after a patch set, acquire the card, and if you want to upgrade, then you have that opportunity. Yeah. Because there are times that you just don't know if and when something's going to pop, or if you're ever going to see it, because a lot of the patch sets have short prints. And I've had my 2010 certified mirror gold set since it was completed either late 2011 or early 2012. And there's a few cards that could probably go for an upgrade, but it's not something that I actively seek out these days because it's all game used and everybody wants game used now. And I'm not going to pay, $30 for Joe Schmo.
Mr. 5.
Topps Gold. Is that the high? They call that the high number or whatever. Is that an 8?
Yeah.
I have one behind me in a 10, but it's not the gold version. It's the regular version. Nice.
90, is that 5? 6.
You gonna open that thing up tonight?
No. I was debating on whether or not to open something tonight, but like I put all my
Right.
like, not that you care, Scott, but like there's been a few times I've opened stuff like in after hours, and I feel like a dumbass, and I should have opened it and during like at some point in the show.
Oh, nice.
Pull that out of a fat pack,
Sweet.
and eventually it's going to go to grading because like raw version like $160 something. A 10 goes for almost $1,000.
Damn.
Figure.
What does a fat pack go for prison basketball?
$15.
That's not too bad.
Well, I mean I bought it at the time of release, and I
Okay.
think I still have 5 or 6 sealed. It's like it's Prism, it's Wemby's rookie of the year, played in the gold medal game in the Olympics. Of course, that was afterwards, but it's like
Actually, I really like Wemby. I think he is going to be a really good player. It's more the numbers thing for me. I just don't know what's going to happen with some of these cards, and
Yep.
they might hold quite a bit of value too. I don't really know. Just depends where the hobby goes, really. Like, are we going to have more collectors as we go here, or are we not? I don't know.
and that's the thing. I mean, that's going to be the unknown. I feel like the hobby has grown
Yeah,
from
for
all
sure.
aspects. Dealers, flippers, breakers, collectors. But is that trend going to continue? I mean, look at the foot traffic at the National. I mean, that's usually always a good indicator, at least from what you hear. But is that actually a good indicator? Just because you have foot traffic doesn't mean that the hobby is strong. More people are maybe dipping their toes, trying to get an idea of like what it's all about because it's all over the place. And is it just going to be the is it just money that's going to be the driver, or is it going to create collectors? Because like for you, I know you kind of you open stuff and collect kind of with your son.
Yeah.
You have two boys, right?
I have 2 boys. Yeah.
That's a nice patch. So you need to post that on Instagram during like logo day or whatever. Whatever that is, whatever day that is. So like your
Who was that?
hope, it was a Tennessee Titans logo patch. You're kind of bringing in the younger generation into the collecting space. I don't know like how much they enjoy it. Hopefully they do. You know, C does Pokemon.
Yeah, it's definitely more Pokemon.
Is it?
It's a little harder to get them onto sports, but it doesn't stop me from trying. So,
But they play sports.
they
That's
play
that's
sports
what's
too.
interesting.
I know. Usually, if we get something, I'll let them get one Pokemon and then one pick a sport, and open that up too.
Yeah, because you've kind of had the last 2 years what is it, the Topps Chrome anniversary or platinum or whatever.
Yeah, we'll still open some of that stuff. I'm not looking to get rich off it necessarily, and I certainly haven't. But it is fun to open. It's a cool product, I think.
And it's reasonable. It's
it's
still
reasonable.
like that product is reasonable. Yeah, we don't care about no Lemieux stuff.
It's a snowman.
It's a cool card. I like the die cut.
And he's in
But
the
then
proper
again-
setup.
But then again, I love die cuts.
Now that's a
That's
fair
enough.
dicey patch.
That's a nice patch on the right. Like Dave's showing off random shit that like nobody has seen. And that's not an exaggeration. Yeah, Eric's not here to ask for hockey cards, but like there's been some hockey cards being shown. Uh-oh. Scott's getting up. He's going to go start pulling some shit.
I'll wait till he comes back. Talk about a COVID pickup.
We've seen that one, Dave. Was that Summit? Score Summit? You're on mute, by the way, Dave. And you moved yourself.
Pinnacle Summit, yes.
Okay. That's a nice fucking card.
I don't get in much hockey, but I just got that in the other day.
Mark Johnson?
Yeah, Mark Johnson, Miracle Man.
That's a nice looking card.
I had never heard of this set before, but it's pretty cool.
That's a clean card.
Like the auto on there is just amazing. He's got a great auto.
Yeah, it reminds me of like that. Somebody had just picked up an Eddie Matthews. I don't remember what year, that 99. That's an upper deck. Like it's sort of like that.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Nice clean autos on there, I think.
And that it sort of feels like that. A nice, simple but a really sharp design.
Hard signed.
Hey, Upper Deck or somebody, Panini Upper Deck, somebody put that on the hobby box. It's hard signed.
I hate that terminology. It's fucking on card. Was that one of the like the MVP winner promotion things?
Yeah, I just missed a Kerry Collins the other day. I completely forgot about it. I still haven't ever seen a Northcutt.
Now here's
Yep. That would be the bounty card minus, like, again, 101s. People are like to 5 or to 3 or to 8, whatever. That stuff you just don't expect to see. The top MVP promotion.
now those are two bangers right there. Steve,
Random magic cards.
read what they are though.
I can't read them.
Chatter of the Squirrel.
That's you.
Yep. And Squirrel Mob. These are the most what you call it? Cardboard Underground. He's like, you need to get these. And I'm like, dude, I do. I'm like, those are like my totem animals. Since I'm easily distracted.
Squirrel. Squirrel. That's all right.
Was it Star Wars?
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
The
Star
Next
Trek
Generation.
captain patches.
That's different.
So it's got all the captains of all the first 5 shows.
I just saw Picard.
That is
Picard-
definitely different.
Picard, Kirk, Cisco, Janeway, and Archer.
Me.
Numbered down to 200.
That's cool.
Something unique.
Who's that? Is that Rittenhouse that puts that out, or is that someone different?
Star Trek Inflections, I believe. I don't know if Rittenhouse is the one that puts it out or not. It doesn't actually say.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
could be
'cause
Rittenhouse. I know they put out a lot of Star Trek stuff, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, they do all the stuff that Ed picks up for what, Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, I was waiting for Dave to do that. I was getting ready to pull you back down because it's like sometimes you're like, okay, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm done.
You gotta look for some more, man.
Yeah, they can see. You don't have to. Jeez.
We heard you talking, Vinny, as you went off camera.
Yeah.
But anyways,
She's
You're
running
good
around
person.
here, and I'm like, go that way, child.
isn't it past her bedtime?
She wouldn't leave the house in those shorts, I tell you that. Over my dead body.
Oh, just wait.
Oh, I know.
You've hit the teenage years officially, so good luck.
I did it twice before, but I mean, this is different. I hear you. Go to bed. It's a school night.
Cecilia Rose, go to bed. Don't make me fly to Michigan and kick your ass.
I think she has to listen. Yeah, I turn around and I'm like,
I
she's in a
wouldn't
night.
count on it.
She's like in a pair of shorts and a nightgown. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't. No. No. Child. No.
Yeah, there's certain things that like we are cognizant about.
Yeah, and that's one of them.
Yes.
Like, I'm glad she's a goalie. She always wears pants. Some
Yeah,
of them
the
shorts-
the 200th show, we don't need to be flagged for like indecent conduct or some
Yeah, no
shit.
I'm like,
Then again,
are you wearing pants? What?
see, I didn't come prepared to share anything. Nobody wants to see my shit anyways because it's nothing cool.
There's something. That's a COVID card.
Cool.
Jambalaya.
That was $50.
No, that's what you call a steal.
Oh, I made one today. I'll tell you after hours. If it comes to fruition, it was. Let me put it this way: I paid $11.05 for a lot of 4 cards from Canada. I will tell you 3 of the 4 cards that are in there. Uno momento, por favor.
No habla español.
Well, that's your problem. So there.
No, that's actually a you problem.
There's a Score Sniper from 1991. Ooh, those are rare. There's a that's 91-92 Upper Deck base, and the ever popular Pro Set Cup card. Did I send you that one, Dave?
You sent me the link.
Oh, okay. I thought we talked about that card. So
The wrong Oiler of all the Oilers. Yeah, Yakupov. He worked out well.
I got you some Yakupovs because he did really well. Sorry, Paul.
Watch your mouth.
But the 4th card in this, I paid more for shipping than I did the card.
I like that card, Dave.
A lot.
What year is that, by the way?
4.
Thought so. Because I knew it wasn't rookie year, and it didn't look like a 95-ish.
The set they still want to collect to. All that 93, 94 fucking doofix. It just.
It's pretty, man.
The
I don't know that one.
quintessential Jeff George pose. The one reason
Yep.
I like it, right above the finger, under his name, the 75th anniversary patch. That was the best part about 1995 football. Like the cards, they had all those patches on there. Now at the time, if they would actually had patch cards, that would have been awesome to have that.
Yeah, that was long before that was even an idea and a concept. I love holograms.
Random soccer card.
And another set, the Aces, what Cops tried to recreate.
Yes. Yeah, which they've done a shitty job with.
I know.
The original, nothing beats the original. Those were tough as hell to pull too.
And another set I want to eventually try.
You got the die cut all pros.
Everybody loves a comedian. Not the right one, but
Dave and some of his random shit, but like it's
got to show
can
the
all-
legend, the icon when he's on.
Yep, the Ziggy Pulvey. You can always appreciate some of the stuff because it's like you may have remembered a set or heard of a set or a parallel or whatever and never seen one, and randomly Dave will end up pulling one out of his ass.
It's fat enough that they can all hide in it.
You said it. Except when he pulls out hockey stuff, like I don't
These-
know one from the other.
Oh,
Shut
some of my
up, Dave.
favorites. Again, it's just, well, you're the Oracle, so
Not self-proclaimed.
very limited. The old crash numbered.
You know what would be interesting though, if like current production though, in just the random like Prism Silvers, for instance, or Prisms, whichever nomenclature you want to use. If they actually numbered them, so you actually knew roughly how many there were.
That would be cool.
But then again, like none of us know how many refractors were out there in early years.
Right.
That is a refractor, isn't it? Yeah.
The gold with the
Gold
decal.
refractor.
Okay, I just passed my bedtime.
It's
gotta do it.
past Scott's bedtime. It's probably past our bedtime too.
What time do you guys usually get up in the morning?
Well, I set my alarm for 7:45 because I don't have to be at work until 8 o'clock, and I work from home. So, Dave, on the other hand, is like 3 a.m.
3:30 to 3:45.
3:30. Oh my goodness. I don't even feel so bad then. I'm about 4:55, 5 o'clock.
Okay.
But that's early. 3:30.
I will say there are times in which I'm up at 5 a.m. long before my alarm clock goes off. So, like,
Gotcha.
not on purpose though.
I'm still on Minnesota time. So
Minnesota time.
I'm
Yeah, it
used to
lives in-
waking up and matching the
Central.
Central time because of
You
Right,
did
yeah,
pick
yeah,
one
yeah.
of those up, Dave. The limited. That's the one I sent you. Well, the link that is. All right, Scott, go get some
Yeah.
sleep. It was awesome having you on. Hopefully
Yeah.
you can make it again.
I'd love to make it again sometime. So, may not be the next one, but at some point in the near future, I would love to join you guys again. So,
Oh,
It
yeah.
was awesome having you.
Anytime you want.
Yep.
like if you have like an alluring topic that you think that would be interesting that could comment on, by all means, reach out.
That's Dave's department. So Dave, keep that in mind.
But I also like shooting the shit too. So, either way.
Again,
awesome
thank you for coming on. Thank you for
Of
coming
course.
on. Finally, getting you on here, and again, Scotty Tradition on YouTube. Go subscribe to him if you haven't already subscribed.
I feel so much
Not a
better already.
rambling maniac, so that's always a plus.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Have a
no
good night,
problem.
Scott. It's good to see you,
Take
buddy.
care.
Too.
That was
Somebody
cool.
somebody who didn't struggle on how to leave.
It didn't struggle at all. That was
No.
yeah, he
No.
picked. See, that's what I like about our people. They just pop on and they know. They know.
Well-
do they know?
Well, he's done some StreamYard stuff though too, so it's not like he's
True.
not familiar.
Hey, Dave,
Yeah,
here's
he
one.
was.
He has
was
no
on-
Patreon, Paul.
So you got me hooked on these stupid things now.
Yes, good.
I was like, I never saw like and I'm like, man. So these are players with 8 assists, I guess, in one game. Active 8 career assists per game. That can't be right. Active 8. I'm gonna have to find out the meaning of the card. But this is 18 of 30. Lemieux, Peter Forsberg, and Adam Oates in a Ducks jersey. So that was pretty not what I would normally purchase.
You must have really liked that card, though.
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
buy
'cause-
two, though.
That just means one less Lemieux.
Oh, here's the other one. I thought I had it. That one I couldn't pass up.
Well, you could have, you chose not to.
Yeah.
Not to.
Like, use the right nomenclature, Vinny.
7 of 50. I like it.
Gabagool.
Gabagool.
And of course, since nobody could see it, Dave actually stood up for that one.
Better out than in.
That's what I always say.
Speaking of BGS, Josh Johnson cards.
Yep.
So,
So
recent acquisition.
So this is recent, not Terrell Davis. Not that anybody cares, and you're not going to be able to tell. So this is Simon Fletcher.
You bought it or pulled it?
No, this was something that, as I was reorganizing some stuff, so this was a set that my father had put together that I acquired after he passed. A lot of people don't realize that Pro Set Power actually had parallels. You can't see it because of the glare. The regular base set is silver, and then they have a gold parallel. And obviously, my father didn't know it at the time either, because I went through as I was pulling cards out of the 9-pocket pages just to put it in a box. He had gold variations stuck in places for players.
I just found a random Terrell Davis card.
I have that one.
I'm glad. Now I know I don't have to send it. I think that's why. I think I bought it and then checked the list and it was on there. I've done that once or twice in my days. I actually did it 6 times for you the other day.
The only
I
thing
hit
that's
on a bunch of stuff and I won it all.
the
Very
only
low
thing
price.
The only thing that's recent is this.
What's that? Oh, the
Yellow from Plates and Patches.
good. You don't need what you don't. You're covered for this year. I just finished packing all of Christmas, and I'm gonna do some rotations moving forward. I have my new scheme, the new setup for future years, because next year is the house year, as I've been saying for like 2 years. So I have my new schematic and my new plan, but I'm only person that's left to go is the good doctor, because I'm going through all my Lemieux cards, all the lots that I bought over the years. So, I mean, this is just one stack of stuff I bought in lots. This is all upper deck. So right now I got it separated in Pro Set, Skybox, Parkhurst, Bowman, Fleer, upper deck, Leaf, Panini, Park, ITG, Pacific, Pinnacle, Tops, and OPG. So I'm separating them all out, and whatever he's missing, I'm gonna fill in some holes.
That's what she said.
Yeah, because I am of the belief that it's a fellow Lemieux collector, and there's not many of us that I know. So,
You know, a great concept for this year and next year and future years?
yeah.
Absolutely nothing. What a concept.
I didn't hear you, Steve. Can you speak a little louder?
Oh, no, I know you heard me.
I can't blame it on my dogs.
You're choosing not to listen. Just saying. But that's always our problem anyways. We don't ever listen.
No, stubborn.
Stubborn is not the word I would use, because that's like an understatement. The understatement of the century.
I'll allow it.
Like, because I want absolutely fucking nothing.
Well, that's not happening.
For a multitude of reasons.
What you want, what you're gonna get, are gonna be two fucking different things.
That's
Yes.
There's one for you. No fraction. I'll go here. We'll make a deal. I won't use fractions this year.
Love that card, Dave. There is such a thing called return to sender. Just remember that.
Oh, don't you dare.
And what if I did? What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Drive down there.
No, we. Yeah. There you go.
I've driven enough the last couple of years. If I got to drive a little more, hey, why not?
I don't see you driving to Texas, Dave.
Really?
Really?
Huh. Okay.
Just saying.
I know you are. You just said it.
What would be the reason for you to drive to Texas? It ain't to see me.
Why wouldn't it be?
Oh no, it would be to go see your best friend on the ranch.
Exactly. Pick you up along the way. Go to the ranch.
Yeah, no.
Have a vegan barbecue. Vegan barbecue. Have some tofu dogs.
No. No.
And no. Oh, Rob Schneider. I hope he dies. He needs to be the one to die. If you haven't seen what he posted about Dikembe today or yesterday.
No,
They-
I can't say that I did.
take a peek-see-poo at that. That's somebody that needs a mallet. He needs Gallagher's mallet against his head. And then Vinny's like, "What? Pray tell, what has been spoken on the interwebs?"
Haven't we talked about like hate watching and hate viewing?
No, this was something that popped up on like what it would have been, like not the Google page, like whatever, like the phone browser page, like the home page. I think it's like the AT&T one, and it said Rob Schneider something about Dikembe. I'm like, huh, let me take a peek at that. So
Yeah, that hasn't pulled up on my Google News feed.
well, it won't be Google. It'd be like let's say you have a Yahoo page or like the old MSN homepage or
Yeah,
whatever.
but even then, like even Google News, because like when I click on Google, it's like my news feed, so it's anything and everything, sports, politics, anything. Like everything pulls up in my news feed. I mean, that's how I stumbled across when I heard that Dikembe had passed. That's why I sent the link to the group chat. So even shit like that would pull up though from time to time because it's algorithm based like anything else. So
John almost died as well.
who?
The dad from Good Times.
Oh.
Or What's Happening? Good Times. With JJ.
Dynamite.
Yeah. He was in Roots and he was the dad in Coming to America. He
That's
passed
the one
away.
that's the one with Wesley Snipes, isn't it?
Sure, Dave. Frank Fritz passed away, the dude from American Pickers. Chris Christopherson we lost. It was not a day.
They come in threes, man.
Yeah. In this case, 4, because Pete Rose and
Is that Harrison Jr.?
I didn't even know I had that.
Is that a Bowman University thing or is that a Leaf thing?
Yeah, Bowman University deal.
More random shit that you're stumbling across, Dave?
Stuff I need to catalog and put away. That just seems to be never something I'm good at. I just like stacking shit up.
Well, you've said for a lot of years it's time.
I think that was when Mike sent me for Christmas, maybe.
Jay Samaro. Is that a 101?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know because sometimes they do like 2, 3, and 4 of those sometimes nowadays. Number to 5.
The National McCown.
That's the one I sent you.
Game Gear cards.
What? Game Gear cards? No. Prove it.
Yeah, the one time
Prove
Eric
it.
didn't show up. The one time. Pocket. And then the stick.
I don't believe you with the Game Gear cards, Dave. Prove it.
I just did.
That's not a Game Gear card. That's not either. I want a legit Game Gear card, Dave.
I know it's one. So, back in the box I go.
Disappointed. You should have one readily available. Those aren't Game Gear cards either. Of course, I do like those, but Gummy Bears Game Gear cards. Not the same, Dave. I'm disappointed.
He wanted to be buried in gummy bears at one point. Remember that?
No, it
Oh,
was
I'm
the fabric of the game. It wasn't a Game Gear.
That's not a Game Gear.
That was a Christmas episode. Those are sort of ingrained in my head since I watch them. Like, I think we're up to 420 some views on last year's. So we
Why
have
don't
to
you-
check the algorithm one day. I think me by single-handedly watching the Christmas episode, we might hit 1 million hours.
The only problem is you need to go watch some of the other ones though too. Like you need to get those up in views.
But I love the Christmas episode. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yes, but there's multiple.
I know. There's some of them I go back where I know where Ghost and Dryden are, that they jumped on camera, and I'll look. And
Speaking of Ghost and Dryden, where did you guys end up hanging
as
the?
soon as I wake up in the morning, they're the first things I see. Right in the
So
bedroom,
they're in the bedroom.
right next to each other. So got my little man, my little Galaxy, which is cool now. He spends he kind of does what Ghost does. But Dryden started it. He would go, but well, actually, Mikado did. She would go between the rooms and spend the time in each room during the night. She would even go downstairs with the girls. And
Gotcha.
then when we got Dryden, Dryden stayed with me most of the time because Cece wasn't born yet. And then when Ghost came, he started patrolling the house at night. And then
How-
Dryden patrolled, and then he would split his time between the beds.
Hell, Galley ended up freaking sleeping with me the night
Yeah.
both nights I was there. Some.
Galaxy stays with what he does now is he usually starts out in the living room on his little bed underneath the table, and then he'll go to the couch, and then he'll go lay with Cece till she falls asleep, and then he comes and he lays in bed with me till early in the morning. He's pretty good. 2 times a night maybe he'll run out, but he's hunting. He goes out there. I think there's rabbits in the back, and he's a nocturnal hunter. I'm like, dude, there's a squirrel right there, and he just looks at me. I said squirrel, and he's like, oh, I should probably chase that. But at night, he hits that door, and he is gone.
You see who I have in here?
Is that Trooper and Charlie?
Yep. Both laying down. I'm used to having Charlie in here.
Golly won't come down here. Neither Dryden and Ghost didn't like it either. They weren't down. The only time they came down is when there was a holiday with fireworks, and they would come down here and sit with me, especially Dryden. And then Dryden and Ghost were inseparable. So, and I think that's a lot what's wrong with Golly right now. He has his moments where he just seems down.
Yeah, he's lonely.
He misses his boys. So,
It
but
happens.
he's the only dog we have left. When Haley was here and had Gunner and him would play for like an hour, and they would be so dead tired they would just crash the rest of the night. But Gunner's he's a golden lab, and he's just he walks like a rabbit. We call him Bunny. He hops. And if you get the laser pointer, he'll hop, put them, and he comes down with such a thud because he doesn't know how powerful he is. He's a brick house. The Boomer's just nuts. So
That doesn't look comfortable.
Yeah. Golly sleeps like that.
There's one of these days I'm gonna have to take a picture because they're like he sleeps like oh I can't even explain it. Like eventually I'm gonna have to take a picture. I'll have to send it to you when he like sleeps a certain way because you sit there and I look at him going that does not look fucking comfortable.
Well, Ghost used to perch like a cat on the back of the couch,
Yeah, well.
and then Dryden would just put his head down there, and they would sit there. And
Oh
now Golly
shit.
perches like a
Fucking Pat. That's probably the most random thing you've ever fucking shown, Dave.
squirrel.
That, and
Wow.
then you go to
Mirror Gold. Jose. Is that a Brave? Yep.
Yeah, the Pat card. I think I've actually bought that off eBay for like a couple bucks. I'm like, and that was when all the people. I remember the floating head was excited about stuff. I'm like, you know what? I really liked some of that stuff. I want to see if Pat is in there. That was like something perfectly at the time, and that's something I will spend a couple dollars on because it's dumb.
Yeah,
But
something,
all the other stuff, not so much.
something completely random. Dude, move. Move. Move over, butter. That's a beaut. Charlie. Dude, you're in my way. Since since Dave busted out with like Pat cards, these I mean this isn't like super random, but a few trips to Whataburger. The Nolan Ryan set. All sealed. The Coca-Cola.
Oh, those are cool.
I remember those.
My uncle has those. He was big in the Nolan. And Coca-Cola.
Troy Aikman. Is that like the LP set? Or is that
It's the
like,
gold. It's the gold.
okay.
Two different ones. Going like way back.
That's that box reeked of like the QVC boxes. I remember they'd come in and you get like a bonus whatever that they Penny
That's
Golden would try to sell you on.
that's where that came from, Dave.
Because I remember getting that stuff before from our friends at QVC.
Shop at home.
They never got anything from Shop at Home. Trent Green, and then I think
Yep.
who else was there? Elam? Did he have a-
I don't remember who else. I don't know who else is in that set. But the whole reason was Trent Green, because
I
Trent
remember-
Green doesn't have a whole lot of rookie cards.
No, I think that might be.
I think it's his only one.
Oh,
Des-
that's Dawn.
Desert Storm. And then my few little things of Marvel. That's the members only set. Random shit. One of the very few random boxes I have of shit. Since something readily available that I could grab and show off some random shit.
Once I could get to this bottom shelf over here, I got some random stuff from my dad. He gave me the last time not the last, actually, shite. It was last November he gave it to me because I don't get to go as much as I used to.
Yeah, because I'm still trying to find my one Marvel set that I know, like, you came back with a few cards from that specific set that I think I'm missing,
Yeah,
but I haven't stumbled across it.
he's literally like, I'll call the house and I'm like, Ma, where's Dad at? And he's like, he's upstairs going through boxes. He's trying to
Mercury.
put everything together.
Mercury.
More key to him too. He just died, I think, last week.
Yep. Yeah, and that's still like all the people profiteering. Like anytime somebody dies, it's like the influx of shit. Just is that super duper? I loved that year of Gridiron Gear.
Wow, is that nice?
I bought an inner case of that shit, and God, was it fun to open. Reggie, who doesn't have a whole lot of freaking patches out there.
Wow. I'm watching it on the replay. So this screen in front of me, the one behind it's delayed. So like I'm paying more attention to it than I am the one below because the one behind it is bigger. I got to get back to using my laptop. I've been
Yes,
saying
yes,
that
you
for
do.
3 weeks now, and I think I've used this phone 7 times. But
Immaculate.
that's a nice.
No,
It took me a while to get my TD immaculate patch like that.
Oh,
Because most of the ones I came across, I wanted a 3-color, so like that's the one that I like. Patience. You're still finding random shit, Dave? Obviously.
Josh Johnson.
Okay. Is that Inception?
no, what is it? Tier 1.
Tier 1. Tops now. Yeah, I will say I kind of regretted not picking up one of the Caitlin Clark specific Prism blasters. I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I never did it.
Sort of like what we did for update that year for baseball.
Did
Yeah,
we actually wait, or it was one of those in which we waited a little bit too long that day and they pretty much were gone?
I think it was waiting a little long that day. Poised to take some down, but right now I got enough crap. I got to get through and get this stuff organized.
there's only two things on my radar right now, and that's Topps update for this year because of Skeens, and then WNBA Prism.
I have nothing on the radar. I got Christmas done. Was like, now I just have to buy stuff for the kids and Meredith, and that'll be that.
Well,
And my folks and my brothers.
I'm not gonna go the. Well, I can't say that because I'll probably still end up buying the Max and like a dumbass because technically, like all you need is one to make a decent ROI potentially. I went back through. I have like well over 100 blasters and mega boxes between various sports and products.
Wow. That's a lot.
That's like that pales in comparison to the amount of shit that you have, though. Like seriously,
This is true. I have a lot of shit. Gabble.
I mean, I still need to move the last few Topps Chrome sets into freaking binders. I'm still debating on whether or not to pull all the TD base out of the collection and actually put those in binders. So it actually reduces box space, so to speak, and just keep inserts, parallels, and memorabilia stuff in those boxes because like patches and autos are in their own boxes. It's not high on the priority list at the moment for reasons. But we did hit the 2 hour mark. I'm guessing nobody else is going to show up. So unless anybody else in the chat has something that they would like to chat about.
We talked about more cards than I think we have in many episodes.
This is true.
That was quite nice. I like talking about cards.
I got a nice card of him coming in too.
That's a nice patch. Those patches are so nice.
Oh, okay, nice.
I thought I got it for a nice price, the one that's coming in, because I offered. Well, I got an offer which is 25% off, and then I countered with something a lot cheaper, and within the hour, I think it was accepted. So
that's a win.
Yeah, because I've looked at his stuff, but I have not looked. Again, the two players I look up, Josh Johnson and another one, and then it's like everyone else sort of gets like cycled through the week. So
my side PCs are been pretty lackadaisical.
Non-existent.
Lackadaisical more than non-existent. I pick one up here and there. Like the last thing I kind of got to burn my ass was LaFontaine. And I picked up his OPG graded rookie. I picked up his Topps graded rookie. Then I got a patch auto for a really good price. And that's in the Oilers, not the Oilers, the Islanders setup. Now I want to get it in Buffalo. And then I got to get something of him in the Rangers. And then that pretty much covers him. I picked up a Shea Weber Young Gun because he's going in the Hall of Fame. I got all Roenick stuffs 90-91. I got that shit coming out of my eyeballs. I don't have it graded, but I don't need it graded. It was cheaper to buy the Shea Weber graded than it was not graded. So
Yeah, sometimes that blows my mind still that's even a thing sometimes. But whatever. I think you can wrap us up, Dave.
Well, thank everybody joining us, celebrating 200. Scott jumping on, being indoctrinated into the IRP world. Like I've said before, if you ever got like a topic or you put up a topic and you're interested in coming aboard and chatting with us, reach out. I never turn folks down coming on and interjecting their opinion on, especially if it's something they know. Again, if it's Bobby Burrell wanting to talk about the legitimacy of finest refractors versus prisms, I mean, I'm gonna have to call bullshit on that. But again, you never know. You just never know. So, here's to another 200. Do we all have drinks? Is there drinks nearby?
No, I finished mine for the evening.
Do you have your bottles still?
No. I'll go grab a bottle of water.
Cheers to 200 and maybe 200 more. Maybe.
I wouldn't count on that.
The next 100 will be graded cards.
The next 100 may take 2 years if we go to every 2 weeks. Hot water. Cheers.
So thank you all for joining us. It's been real. The realness will continue. But thank you.
whether you like it or not.
Yeah. So again, all those casual onlookers that love to poach the topics will still give you something to poach because Lord knows you don't have the cranial capacity to come up with anything original. For Vinny, for Steve, I'm Dave. This has been the IRP, episode number 200. Remember, collecting cards is a wonderful hobby. The friendships you forge along the way, that's what really matters. Thank you, and good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.